Hello everyone and welcome sa ating channel. Sa video na to, pag-uusapan natin is all about Bollinger Bands. And para sa akin, ang Bollinger Bands ang best bands indicator out there. At syempre, hindi natin pwedeng kalimutan the one and only no, na nag-imbento ng Bollinger Bands, si John Bollinger. So nilagay ko sa dyan para ma-motivate tayo matutunan yung Bollinger Bands. No? So, ang Bollinger Bands ay binubuo ng tatlong bands, no? First is yung ating middle band. Ang default setting nito is 20 simple moving average. Siyempre, pwede mong baguhin yung period ng ating moving average, pero si John Bollinger na nga nagsabi no, na yung 20 period, yan yung tinatawag niya na sweet spot. Ngayon naman, yung upper band natin is just the value of the middle band plus 2 standard deviation. At yung lower band naman natin is the value of middle band minus 2 standard deviation. So ano ba yung standard deviation na yan, no? So let's dive deeper sa standard deviation para maintindihan natin ano nga ba ang idea behind these Bollinger Bands. So here may kita natin na merong bell curve. Okay, so bell curve siya, mukha siyang bell. At yan din yung tinatawag natin na normal distribution, no? Sa statistics. And it applies in most things in life. For example, gusto nating kunin yung average height ng mga estudyante sa isang school. At nakuha natin yung average height, no? Average height is, for example, 150 centimeters. Okay? So, yan yung average natin. Lagay natin dito is 150. So, halimbawa naman ang ating standard deviation na compute natin at syempre di ko na sa inyo sasabihin yung formula, baka ma-board lang kayo. So, halimbawa lang is gawin natin 10 centimeters. So, average plus standard deviation, that will be 160, right? Average minus standard deviation, that will be 140 for this example. So, ibig sabihin, may kita natin na 68, no, 0.26%, okay, so gawin nating yellow, 68.26% ng mga estudyante falls under this category. Ibig sabihin, above 140 cm yung height nila but below 160 centimeters. Okay? So that represents 68.26% ng mga estudyante. Ngayon naman, may kita natin meron ditong average plus 2 standard deviation. So for this example, that will be 170. Correct? 170. And average minus 2 standard deviation, that will be 130. Okay? And may kita natin na it falls, no, 95.44% ng mga estudyante pala falls under this category. No? Ibig sabihin, above 130 centimeters but below 170 centimeters. Okay? So, ganyang kadami na estudyante is within this range. So, may something interesting happening pala kung ang height mo is nasa, sabihin natin, 190 centimeter. Okay? So, kabilang ka sa napakaliit na percentage ng mga estudyante na merong ganyang height. Kasi nga, ang layo ng deviation or ng difference mo doon sa average, which is 150. Diba? Ang difference mo sa kanya is 40 centimeters. So, that's something interesting that we can look at. Okay? So, ngayon, etong formula na to, which is average plus 2 standard deviation, tapos average minus 2 standard deviation, parang merong kamuka yung formula na yan. Okay? Tingnan nga natin. So, nakita natin sa upper band, yung formula niya, middle band plus 2 standard deviation. Dito naman, middle band minus 2 standard deviation. So, looks family. Hindi siya familiar, it looks family. So that's exactly the idea behind the Bollinger Bands. Ibig sabihin, kumbaga sa bell curve na to, yung ating upper band is somewhere here, no? Yan yung ating upper band. Yung ating lower band naman is somewhere here. Okay, yan yung ating lower band. At yung ating moving average na 20 period is right here. Yan yung magiging average natin. And makikita natin na 95.44% ng price action is happening sa loob ng ating Bollinger Bands. Ibig sabihin pala kapag yung price ay lumagpas sa ating upper band o ating lower band, there's something interesting na pwede nating makita doon. Okay, so yun tinatawag natin na posibleng magkaroon ng trading opportunity. Correct? So for example, etong price na to lumagpas sa upper band, ibig sabihin may something tayo na pwedeng makita dyan. Dito naman, yung price ay lumagpas sa lower band, there's something interesting there also. Okay? So, dyan tayo ngayon, possible lang na pwedeng makahanap ng trading opportunity. Okay? So, I hope no na it's very insightful at meron kayong natutunan doon because sinishare ko lang sa inyo, at least that is how I understand the idea behind the Bollinger Bands. Alright? Right. So now, why we need to use Bollinger Bands? Okay? First, it helps us find trading setups. And second, it helps us eliminate emotions from the trading process. So, yung Bollinger Bands, katulad din ng ibang indicators, it gives us at least objectivity. Okay? Dahil, for example, ang ginagamit mo lang is pure price action. Ang pure price action is actually medyo subjective. Okay? But yung Bollinger Bands, as you can see, we can be objective sa paghahanap ng trading setups. Kasi ang ating objective lang is makita na merong price na lumagpas sa ating Bollinger Bands. Okay? So yun yung objective natin and mabilis natin yun makita. And of course, hindi naman natin gagamitin yung Bollinger Bands ng eto lang. Siyempre, meron tayong ibang tools, no, to have confluence. But what I'm saying is that it removes emotion, okay? It helps us eliminate emotion. Dahil nga, nagiging objective tayo pag ginagamit natin itong mga indicators na to tulad nga ng Bollinger Band. So, Bollinger Bands help traders identify first volatility, no? For example, pag nakita natin na yung bands are widening, ibig sabihin, the volatility is high. Okay? And pag nakita naman natin na pag yung bands are narrow, ibig sabihin, yung volatility is low. No? Kapag narrow, often sa Bollinger Bands, tinatawag natin siya na nag-i-squeeze. Okay? So, next is it gives us potential overbought or oversold conditions. Okay? So, prices touching the upper band may suggest overbought conditions while kapag yung price naman ay nasa lower band, then it may suggest oversold conditions. Third is it helps us identify breakouts, no? Possible breakouts. So for example, a sudden expansion, no, bigla ang pag-expand ng mga bands after a period of Bollinger Squeeze, yung tinatawag nga nating sumisikip yung ating channel. So it can signal that a strong move is underway. Okay? Lastly, Bollinger Bands helps us identify trend continuation or reversal clues. Okay? So now let's see what is like trading using the Bollinger Bands. Maraming iba't ibang paraan ng paggamit ng Bollinger Bands when it comes to trading. So it really depends on your style at sa strategy mo. But in this video, pag-uusapan natin is yung tatlong common na paggamit ng Bollinger Band. So first is yung tinatawag natin is Bollinger Squeeze Breakout. Okay? So first, we need to look for the bands to narrow significantly. So may kita natin na initially, yung distance between the upper band and the lower band is wide. Okay? But may kita natin na from here, no, tumaas yung price and nagkaroon ng consolidation sa market. At may kita natin na yung price is now moving within a small range. Okay? So, ito lang yung range ng market. Okay? And yung ating Bollinger Bands is now narrowing or sumisikip siya. Okay? And pag nakita natin na nagkaroon ng ganyan, no, sa Bollinger Bands, there is a possible strong move, whether it is on the upside or downside. Okay? But since yung initial trend natin is downwards, okay, possible na mag-continue yung trend at yung price ay magpatuloy na bumaba. But titignan natin sa mga susunod na mangyayari. Okay? So nakita natin na yung price is nag-breakout sa ating middle bands, and not only that, nag-breakout din siya sa ating lower band. So may kita natin na ang candle na to is really a momentum candle, and we can look at this as a bearish signal. Okay? So potentially, yung strong move na hinihintay natin is to the downside. Okay? So dito natin we-witness yung tinatawag natin na Bollinger Squeeze Breakout. So from a squeeze, okay, nagkaroon siya ng breakout pababa. So now meron tayong tinatawag na Bollinger Band bounce. So basically, naghahanap tayo ng mga mini reversal sa isang sideways trend or sideways market. So tulad dito, may kita natin yung price ay bumaba sa ating lower Bollinger Bands, and from here nag-bounce siya and nagsimula siyang umakyat. Okay? So ngayon naman sa taas sa ating upper band, no, nakita natin nagkaroon ng rejection, and from here nagsimula siyang bumaba. Okay? And again, parang naging support na yung ating lower Bollinger Bands, 'di ba? Because from here nakakita tayo ng rejection, tapos yung price ay nag-bounce and nagsimula na namang umakyat. So kaya natin tinatawag na Bollinger Band bounce. Okay? So very similar yung idea when using support and resistance sa sideways trend. So naghahanap tayo ng trading opportunity, no, or reversal trades, because nakikita natin sa sideways trend, yung price ay nagmo-move lang within a range. And hinihintay natin na yung price, for example, ma-reach yung support level. So para magkaroon tayo ng buying opportunity. Okay? And we expect that the price will bounce and go back up to the resistance level. So pag nakita natin na yung price nasa resistance level na, we can take profit, or no, if we're a short trader, we can enter there a short position or down trade. Okay? Expecting for the price to bounce and bumalik sa support level. So that's basically the same idea, but dito, ginagamit natin is yung Bollinger Bands. So another way na pwede natin gamitin yung Bollinger Bands when it comes to trading is yung tinatawag natin na trend trading with the bands. So etong strategy na to is magandang gamitin when there is a trending market. Tulad ng nakikita natin ngayon sa chart, meron tayong uptrend. But of course, when there's an uptrend, we don't want to enter the trade kapag yung price is tumataas pa. Okay? So gusto natin magkaroon ng pullback, no? Para doon tayo mag-enter, then matitake advantage natin yung movement pataas, 'di ba? So that's the idea behind the Bollinger Band bounce, no? Kapag na-reach yung upper level, in this case, hintayin natin na yung price is mag-pullback. And saan siya pwede mag-pullback? Sa middle band ng Bollinger Bands, okay? So as you can see, makikita natin dito that it seems na nire-respect nung price yung middle band ng Bollinger Bands, okay? Kapag na-reach niya yung middle band, nagbabounce siya and yung price is nagko-continue doon sa initial trend which is pataas nga, okay? So that's what happened here. Mula dito, yung price ay bumaba. Tapos na-reach yung ating middle band, nag-bounce siya, tas nag-continue ulit pataas, no? Then nag-pullback ulit, na-reach na naman yung middle band, and from there, continue na naman pataas yung price, okay? So, parang trend line nito, no? Naka 1 touch, 2 touch, and here, no, pangatlong touch, pwede tayong magkaroon ng trading opportunity. Pwede tayong makapag-enter dito ng trade. Okay? So again, na-reach na naman yung etong upper band natin, nag-bounce pababa, and nirespect niya as a support level yung middle band. Alright? So from here, nagkaroon ng impulsive move pataas. So ito naman another example but in a downtrend. So yung price na-reach yung ating lower band, then nagsisimula siyang tumaas. Okay? Tapos na-hit yung ating middle band, then from there nag-bounce yung price at bumaba siya ulit. So na-hit ulit yung ating lower band, yung price tumaas, okay, pero hindi niya naabot yung middle band this time, no? Nagsimula siyang bumaba na. Okay? So, pero hindi siya bumaba ng sobra sa ating lower band, alright? So from here sa ating lower band, again, na-reach na naman yung ating middle band, nagkaroon ng malakas na rejection, yung price ay nagsimula ulit bumaba. Okay? So nakadalawang touch na tayo dito, hintayin natin na yung price ma-reach ulit yung middle band, and yun nga yung nangyari. From lower band, na-hit ulit yung middle band. Okay? And from here, yung price is nag-continue ulit bumaba. Okay? So nagkaroon ng lower highs, lower lows. Okay? So this is in a downtrend. Alright? So, of course, hindi mo gagamitin yung Bollinger Bands lang as the sole basis of your trading decisions. Of course, nagamit tayo ng iba't ibang confluence tulad ng trend line, support and resistance, candlestick patterns, other indicators tulad ng RSI, stochastic. We need confluence, no, para tayo ay makasigurado that we can have more accuracy when it comes to trading, okay? So we cannot have so much expectation from just one indicator, okay? So hindi pwede na ito lang pagbabasihan natin kapag tayo ay magdidesisyon sa ating pagtitrade. That's why we need to practice first, and kung gusto mo lang, pwede kang mag-open ng demo account sa Kotex. Merong link dyan sa description or sa comment section. Pwede mo i-click yung link na yon para mapunta sa legit website ng Kotex. And pwede mong gamitin yung demo account na yon as long as you want, at hanggang sa magamay mo kung ano yung strategy na gusto mong gamitin na nakita mo na nagkakaroon ka ng results.